Hey, Eric again. And this past field study, I visited a church nearby my home called the Upper Room Christian World Center. It's a non denominational church. I attended this service with my family and my girlfriend for Easter Sunday, and I'd have to say that the church was extremely big, probably over 300 people for that one service. Uh, I say it didn't really feel like a church, it felt more like a theater. I mean, there were a lot of lights and extra things that wouldn't really come off at first as a church. So, when it comes to music, I'd say the music was sort of transcending. Definitely not as much as the other churches I've been to, like Marble Collegiate, but it was four singers in the center and all mixed in races and age and a lot of talent on the stage, which kind of blew me away. But in the beginning of the ceremony, they had a choir and dancers. They were very young. I don't know. It was like almost like a festival type of feeling. So I'd say the music was very joyful and uplifting. The singers did a very good job in engaging participation with the congregation. There was a lot of support. You could tell that it was also slightly community-based regardless of its size. But when it comes to demographics, I'd have to say that majority of the crowd was African American, which is very different than all the churches that we've been to this semester. So my personal overall opinion of the church was, I don't know, it really wasn't what I expected, but I wasn't that big of a fan of it. I felt like because it was Easter and you have a lot of families that come out specifically for that day, not really routine churchgoers, you had a lot of extra things that the church did to kind of drag in as much followers as possible. So there was one scene when they had this big rock and then a whole bunch of lights, and then the rock turned over and Jesus came out, and the crowd's going wild. And then another scene where this guy took on the role as some type of bad side, evil side, and he was versing the church, and they were trying to invite churchgoers to come back next week to see this whole wrestling event that was more for kids. And they just tried very, very hard, and then it kind of just took away from the actual meaning of the Mass itself. But I feel like the sermon was pretty on point. There was a great minister, and he did a great job at that.
To body slam you and your destiny. Are you ready for that next week, ladies and gentlemen? Are you ready for that next week, ladies and gentlemen? Oh, it gets better. Next week, forces of darkness will come together.
Who would have thought that me and Swain would still be together after 19 long chapters? But I think it's time to say goodbye, and to take the knowledge that Swain has taught me and to use that in my future endeavors. So, I'll see you in my This I Believe project.